What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, many of you are asking me my thoughts on Solana as its price is now up about 60% over the last week, and y'all are starting to wonder, is now the time that it finally starts to turn around? Is just a bit of a bear market rally? What is going on? So I want to give you my opinion on what is happening right now, let you know what I'm looking out for, and I hope you guys do enjoy. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. Now, for a bit of a recap, let's talk about the last few weeks so we can get a better idea of what is happening now. Over the last few weeks, Solana has been putting in descending structure. I told you guys a few videos ago that once we saw this third rejection off this $15 level, that if we came back down below $12, we were likely in position to revisit $9. And you can see that's just about exactly what happened. We came back down, we tried to hold that level, it simply just did not happen, and we capitulated even further than my bottom target and hit around $7.50 to $8, of course, depending on what chart you're looking at. Now, from there, many people did start to panic. Solana had finally lost $10. Now it's going to $1. Now it's going to 50 cents. Oh, this is the end of the world. And I was sitting there saying, hey, whenever we see descending structure of this nature, typically there is some type of implications that a breakout to the top side is going to happen. What we see oftentimes with these major cryptos is a capitulation, a bit of descending structure, and then a breakout towards the upside. Now, sometimes that breakout to the upside doesn't last, and then we come right back down, but then there are times where we put in a bit of a higher low and then continue to the top side. So descending structure isn't always a bad thing, and it isn't something to freak out about. And as we can see here, we're starting to get implications that this could be a similar situation that could lead us to a breakout in the future. Not guaranteed yet, but it could happen. Now, many people were shorting, especially even a few of my Patreon members, and I was like, hey, you're shorting at an all-time low, or not an all-time low technically, but of course a low we've not seen before. Maybe let's slow it down because a bounce to the top side of this wedge could happen at any given point, and that's where we're at right now. Now, we've not only just gotten a bounce to the top side of this wedge, but we've actually been able to break this little trend line that was set by our two highs from November and December. Now, interestingly enough, we are not able to really break out of it just yet. We are getting a back test right now, but we can't ignore the fact that we did get some wicks above this level, and it does start to tell us that we need to be prepared for what could be Solana's last try at getting above this descending wedge. So currently speaking for Solana, what I'm looking for is still a break of $15. You guys know how this works. There's often times where you see something called a fake out. What a fake out is whenever you get a breakout in a certain direction, but you run into the most local point of resistance that is going to put up a fight, the bulls don't have enough energy to fight that fight, and we end up getting rejected back down into whatever structure we had just broken out of. As you can see here in this example, what that would look like is Solana coming back up towards this $15 level, being unable to clear it, getting rejected, and getting forced back down into this wedge, and then likely coming to revisit some lower lows, which could be this time around $6 to $7. And so because of that, obviously we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves right now, buying and buying and buying if another 50% correction is on the way. So the way in which you can avoid that is to be on the lookout for $15 to get broken. This doesn't guarantee that Solana is going to make a move to the upside, but it puts us in a much better position. We don't have this massive point of resistance that has held us down for multiple months at this point, sitting directly above our heads. I wouldn't be purchasing right here because, like I said, this level of resistance is right above us, and at any given point could reject us all the way back down to the downside, just like it did right here and just like it did right here. Now, we have seen some bullish implications that we may be able to break this $15 level. One thing I like to pay attention to is our daily RSI, just to get an idea of how this movement is happening, and we can see a beautiful drive of exaggerated bullish divergence, in which we put in a low, we put in a lower low, but we put in the equivalent low here on this 23 level on the RSI. Typically speaking, if this was running in parallel, we would have put this RSI in down here and then got to move to the top side to make it parallel. But no, that's not what we got. We got this exaggerated bullish divergence, in which was an equivalent low to a lower low, which is typically a bullish sign to show that we could get some moves back up towards the top side relatively soon, which is what we're getting right now. Now, a good thing and a good sign to show is that we are not seeing any type of divergence just yet on the macro, some on the micro, in which we are again seeing this lower high right here, and we're seeing a higher high here. But if we are comparing from this low to this low, the previous high that we put in, sitting right around the 70 level back here, we are still setting lower high to lower high there. Okay, so on a more macro sense, we are not getting the bearish divergence quite yet, and so that could be a pretty decent sign to say that we are in a position to possibly see some growth back to the top side. Now, this doesn't need to happen right now. There is a possibility that this thing does come back, put in maybe what could be its second wave to the downside back around here, and then look to fully make this breakout above this line. That is not unusual. You can see here that if we're looking at maybe the daily Bollinger Bands, we are extremely overextended. We went outside of those Bollinger Bands already, so there is the likelihood that we do get a push back down towards this 20 SMA, and then maybe look to flip that into some support and then get the move to the top side. And so even if we do start to see a pull back towards 1170 to 1175, I wouldn't panic too much. Be on the lookout for that 20 daily SMA to hold and then get a push back up out from this line for good. Okay, so this is really Solana's last chance in my opinion. If Solana really starts to capitulate here and say we hit that 20 SMA, we bounce back and come run into resistance here and then start to really pull again, then we're in a position in which, you know, things are going to get ugly, right? We're really going to see this capitulation happen, and anyone who made any gains right here are probably going to pull all those profits off the table, and that's going to likely lead Solana down to what I would say, you know, could be anywhere realistically between $6 and even $5, okay? And so what I want you to pay the most amount of attention to over the next couple days here is how do we interact with this trend line? Are we capable of coming back, bouncing back, and boom, getting that break above $15? If we're capable of breaking 15, that might be a decent buying opportunity. That does have implications of us pushing back up towards $20 to $22. But if we're unable to, and you start to see Solana's price dipping below $11.30, that then becomes a point in time where I would start to say, maybe Solana is in a position in which it is going to likely start to pull back here, and it might be a decent time to pull some profits off the table, especially if you bought anywhere within this little move to the top side, okay? So the main focus right now, the absolute main focus is $15. I would not be getting too excited. I wouldn't be looking forward to any type of growth until we break that level, and I will keep you guys up to date and let you guys know when a little bit more optimism is more justified at this point in time. And so with that said, that's going to be about it for today's quick and easy update. I know I haven't been posting the most, but not the most honestly hasn't been happening. So whenever I see things that could be important, I just let you guys know as fast as possible. And if you do enjoy that, you know, that format for now, let me know by liking this video and subscribing to the channel if you are new. But with that said, that's going to be about it. And of course, I hope you guys did enjoy. Peace.